Well, you know, years ago, I used to have ideas, and it used to do my head in because I was trying to sort of make them work myself. Like, okay, I am doing this 100%, and I'm going to own it 100%. So I have to build everything about it. But as I got older, I realized, no, I'm an ideas person, and I can take it all the way to like a prototype of what that thing is. So if it's a TV series, I can shoot a little bit and, you know, give it a great title that is very like, that would grab somebody's attention. Write, you know, a draft of like how the series would be, you know, all the things, and put it in a box, and we've created it. Now I'm not going to try and make that TV series. I'm going to go and meet with a company that makes TV in that genre. And I'm just going to retain a small amount of ownership of it because I want to do other things, right? So before I would get tangled up in the whole making of the whole thing, and I'd be going, God, it's taken about 6 months out of my life, this. The book is divided into chapters that, you know, Idea Spaghetti is a chapter, as you said, about, well, the more ideas you have, it's kind of obvious that there's more likely to be some good ones. And there's another chapter called Kill the Idea, like, when do you get to a point where you've been trying to make this idea work and you go, it's not really going to happen. In that chapter, I quite like a funny bit, is like some ideas won't be killed off. Even though you've tried all these routes and you've got, look, I've just got to stop doing this, you're in bed and you sort of wake up thinking about it again, and then you know, oh, okay, this one's got 9 lives. I think the best thing in the end is to sort of relinquish a lot of control, because that allows you to just be free thinking, and okay, I'd rather have 10% of something that took off than 100% of something that was still on your table. When you've got a whole ideas factory making it, then we can have 10% or 15% or 50 things. And they can all be happening at once, but we aren't worried about it because we're not actually making them. At the end of the day, you know, in Eurythmics, I would say to the record label, right, I remember John Preston, who was a lovely guy who was chairman of the British phonographic industry, and he was head of RCA Records, or BMG Records, I can't remember when they changed over. And he just came there, so Eurythmics had already had like 2 hit albums, I think. And he came to see us, to meet us, and he was like, oh, so I can't wait to hear your new stuff. And I said, well, you will. We'll deliver the album on March the 13th or something. And he said, wow, that's in like 4 weeks' time. He said, can I hear the demos? Don't make demos. But on March the 14th, there was the album, all 10 songs, had like another 3 or 4 hits on it. And that, you know, is very sort of like, you know, it's to deliver something, it's quite complex making records and mixing and doing all that stuff, but to do it in 4 weeks from scratch and have it be, you know, all delivered, album cover idea, shot, everything. So yeah, it was great training. If you want to be noticed, then your idea has to be, you know, out there. It's like the Einstein thing I tweeted the other day, you know, like, if your idea isn't absurd in the first place, then I don't stand much hope for it. So often if I'm thinking of ideas for like a film thing or a TV series or whatever, the idea at the beginning is pretty sort of out there. And funnily enough, that gets the attention of a lot of the executives in TV and film companies much more than going in with the same old thing. Then you have to prove that, yeah, it's not just a crazy idea. And for me, it's more people, really. I'm constantly meeting people and artists and different kinds of artists. And I'm also incredibly interested in the way the world works and business works, and in the way the world works, you know, philanthropically in all sorts of ways. So there's 2 things going on. So one is, how do I help this creative person get their idea across And how will that affect anything? And it could be just has it affect people emotionally in a song, or it could be, hey, this could actually change the way business works in a certain way. But then suddenly discovering this brilliant violinist called Anne-Marie Calhoun, who, you know, I've been managing for like less than a year. Really interesting because she came from a science background, so she can talk about really complicated things. She came to Nokia Ideas Camp, and they found her brain really interesting. Been playing since she was 2 years old, so so already I've had her like conducting and writing the orchestration for a song that Joss Stone and I wrote for the James Bond new game, or she, you know, played and co-wrote some of the score of Sherlock Holmes. But now she's going to be involved, along with a girl called Nadira X, in the most mind-blowing thing that's going to happen to Britain in June, July, and August, I'm telling you about, which is game-changing. You see, that is a real game-changing thing that's going to happen.